And now in our little journey to this conversation, we've come to see that what we are is this part of the divine spirit, the divine consciousness that is already in essence whole. And that is embedded in a world that is also made up of consciousness. That is all in your mind. Not your personal ego mind, but the cosmic mind, which is also what you are. The cosmic mind that creates this dream of a world. And this dream of a world is perfectly designed to give you at any moment exactly the right situation, the right people, the right circumstances, everything, to help you find one experience after another that takes you to the awareness of your already present enlightenment, your already present completeness. So suddenly, when we look at a partner, that partner is no longer the person who either has to please us or aggravate us. Right? That partner is the one who enables us to grow. And within that, we still are getting pleased and aggravated. And when we have this impulse to blame them or to want to change them, we need to realize, oh, I'm in the Neanderthal relationship right now. The old way. Right? And we pull back and we realize, wait a minute, so if I was capable of a spiritual relationship, what would I do? What would I do with my reactiveness, with my frustration, with my anger, with my boredom? What would I do? Where would I find the solution? And of course the answer is here. And now we have the tools for that. Because everything that happens to you in the way you react or have some stress with another person falls into one of two categories, the primary categories. And that is, you have stressful thoughts about them, and those stressful thoughts may create stressful emotions. Then of course it goes further. The stressful emotions drive stressful behaviors. The stressful behaviors eventually end up as a stressful physical manifestation. That could be a physical reaction and a health issue. It could be a divorce. It could be a severely depleted bank accounts after you're through 3 years of lawyers going through a divorce or anything like that. But it starts with the negative thoughts, the stressful thoughts, and the stressful emotions. So if we have tools to work with them, effectively, to free ourselves of the stressful thoughts and emotions, then we can deal with everything. And as we free ourselves of the patterns of stressful emotions in our present relationships, and we free ourselves of the patterns of stressful emotions and thoughts, then we increasingly get access to what we wanted to have a relationship for in the first place, which is to experience the heart. The already present capacity for enormous love inside of us. And one other thing that is very important in this context is that sometimes the mind doesn't have a particular focus, but it just gets kind of aggravated, jittery, unsettled, muddy. Then what do? Then you need to cultivate stillness. How do you take a muddy glass of water, water with mud in it? What do you do with that to make it clear? Because sometimes the mind is like that. Well, you sit it down and you let it settle. And that's what meditation can do for you beautifully, until the water, the mind, is clear. So with that, we have a complete set of skills, an integral way of very sophisticated, practical, down-to-earth psychology or spiritual practice that we can use to enable us to have that type of spiritual relationship that when you look at the graphic, you see how these two beings relate to each other, and they support and challenge each other in this way of spiritual partnership. And as they grow, not only do they become more and more complete within themselves, there are less and less pieces missing, or less and less of the obstacles present, but also their communication, their love, their attunement grows deeper and deeper and deeper until it ends up at the very top, where you have two enlightened beings seeing each other as one. This is not a theory now, but it's an actual experience. When you look at the other person and you only experience yourself, when you are no longer identified with this little bag of skin, this entity in a bag of skin, but when you're identified with consciousness itself, and that consciousness is the same in all of us. Through the medium of the consciousness and the bliss that this consciousness has, which is the love aspect, we are one. We are one not in the physical bodies, which is what we are not, but we have come to identify with, but in that consciousness that lives inside the bodies. So our identity shifts from this ego that thinks I'm a body, I'm a separate self, to I am the consciousness and bliss of God that has always lived in me, that always was what I was. But I was just a little confused.